Okay, I think we're right.
No, you're there. That's fine.
All good?
Yes.
Okay, welcome to everyone around the world, and thanks for your interest in responsible design is the apex design mode to create our sustainable future. This process benefits all the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. This is a condensed version of this paper with more calls to action. Many design modalities explore sustainability, yet none are broad or agile enough to evolve to the new problems that are appearing faster. This led us to intentionally capitalise on their current strengths and combine them with the best elements of future-focused trends into a more cohesive framework for developing long-term sustainability ASAP. A fusion of circular design plus regenerative design and transition design comes fairly close, as each alone falls short in several critical areas. We're running short of time. Required is a design modality that fuses together the best ideals as a base. We go beyond reviewing major design trends by defining what is lacking and show how best this may be addressed. For decades, practitioners and Society for Responsible Design curators have proposed beneficial new ideas to design thinking practice. The continuously developing area of responsible design is a methodology that invites everyone to add to these strengths and combined make it worth claiming the term apex design mode. This forms the collective of processes holding the greatest capacity to address all the SDGs. By following a more robust technique of collating, assessing, developing and implementing best global greener practice across all fields, we shall achieve much better results in the fastest manner possible. We aim to show responsible design equals good for everything. We encourage you to read the full paper. The main points are: current global systems have multiple flaws and many can be resolved faster by moving to a model featuring responsible design thinking and practice. Working, developing and sharing global ecological best practice is key to this. We must stop all practices that are irresponsible and refocus on redesigning to work with nature. Encourage appreciation of this world by working to develop stewardship and intensive caring for it. Develop new online connections, exhibitions, databases, and information to share and grow these processes. Tell us what you see as the best global practice in your industry, sector, or areas of interest. The Nobel Prize Summit 2021 related many issues to be addressed and quoted John W. Gardner. We are faced with a series of great opportunities, brilliantly disguised as insoluble problems. This is our challenge, to reveal the disguise and embrace the opportunities that we can create. Climate change, species extinction, and pandemics, while each are massive, in reality are still only parts of the combined dilemmas often referred to as wicked problems. These issues are being addressed by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, yet in several areas, the bar may be set too low. These global issues have definitely not just happened recently and have largely been due to the linear production model of take, make, waste. Decades of working around the science of sustainability confirmed whatever is created in large numbers or requiring large quantities of natural resources must be shown or changed to be sustainable in the long term. Anything less is just not responsible. Curating 20 graduate sustainable design exhibitions of best in discipline designs across Australia confirmed responsibility was the key complement to allow them to become truly beneficial in scale. Responsible design evolved over decades. It was always a dynamic thing and continues to be. One thing that is certain is the need to remove linear production processes ASAP. Revisiting Papanek's Design for the Real World, 1972, invites reinstatement of responsible as the key method to help us get there, replacing unsustainable assets to co-create the new business as usual. Responsible industry subsectors have markedly increased, e.g. responsible investing, responsible business, etc. Google searches returned over 1 billion results each. Responsible design was a forerunner, with associations forming globally, including the Society for Responsible Design, SRD, in 1989. Redesigning everything with responsible thinking at its core is likely to be the best way to achieve real progress in sustainability across all the SDGs. In simple theory, to stop plastic pollution, you could just stop making plastics. This may be impossible in the short term, so it's responsible to take all steps possible to counter this. The paper method is reviewing the top design modes from timeline references and discussions in Friant et al. 2020, Sestchin and Gazilasoy 2016, identifying their strengths and weaknesses and suggesting how to make them more effective. Using the definitions of responsible, showing several examples that led to the responsible design model. Describing the model processes adopted over 30 years and present the results of an ongoing SRD survey, plus a call for action and collaboration. Discussion. Of the top design modes, each share many in origin. Circular design is the most easily understood, neatly keeping everything within a perpetual loop. The obvious flaw is that it may not be possible to make all man-made systems circular. This would suggest capping or reducing their negative components as soon as possible. This is underway in several industries, from toxic chemicals to fossil fuels. There are many strengths to the circular process, including the great work of the Ellen MacArthur Foundation using the circular economy as one of their major solutions. Regenerative design has origins in permaculture, featuring self-reliant organic themes within a local agricultural environment, which later developed to include all systems. These approaches replace linear production to cyclical, natural, and self-renewing, closely matching natural systems. Solar with renewables are the main energy sources. All toxic substances or fuels are avoided to go beyond just restoring systems to improving productivity. This mode is challenged when scaling to industrial proportions. Transition design planning looks at the longer term and uses strategic link steps to reach there. Their focus is on sustainability via urban design and advocating design-led societal transition toward more sustainable futures and working to simplify overall problems. It favors modular construction and using well-educated stages to reach the ultimate ecological results. To improve design direction, we request wider adoption of the term Apex Design Mode, the title we apply to responsible design for its capacity to stitch together the best design modes. When responsible design is secured at the apex of our thinking, the results are far more likely to flow into longer-term solutions faster. Matched with ecological best practice, the method of thinking, collating, assessing, developing, and then implementing best global greener practices, it involves rebalancing every sphere of activity by humans and their interaction with nature, from economic to social and environmental aspects, ensuring the responsible approach is included with every element. These form directions to tackle the world's problems aided by collective governance. Responsible design method applies the definitions and practice of responsible to all we create, employing stewardship, caring, being accountable, trustworthy, rational, setting benchmarks, and appropriate standards to create things that are beneficial to the natural world for the longer term. Collaboration is the best method to accelerate solutions. Scientists say we have only 10 years to avoid the worst tipping points. So we should all be working together as a collective Everyone needs to be involved in creating and applying solutions. All the design modes are good in parts. This discussion shows how we can make them all work together to meet this time frame. Top features of responsible design. Makes all design modes more ethically based and ecologically balanced. Creates sustainable value that considers human and global consequences of actions. Grows understanding of implications with materials, production, consumption, final product or service. Encourages a cleaner, healthier and safer world. Minimises environmental impacts and enhances social benefits through all design disciplines, services, well-being, now and beyond. Design or innovation devoid of responsible design results in potentially catastrophic long-term consequences. Globally, these are massive challenges, yet simply encouraging the positive, discouraging the negative, and look to rethink and redesign all we create will give lasting benefits. SRD Change Graduate Sustainable Design Exhibition 8-year series showed the lasting benefits from cross-disciplinary collaboration. Working together to stage, present and promote responsible design thinking to the world, participants found new understandings and dispelled silo thinking, which led to greater appreciation of capabilities. This work is still online at SRD Change National. Just one project provides superior hand washing hygiene for the third world, a timely solution for those without access to clean water or soap, increases hygiene and uses existing water supplies regardless of contamination. Electrolysis and filtration systems eliminate 99.99% of all parasites, viruses and bacteria, while producing only clean water as its byproduct. It's a chemical-free hand cleaning that can improve health for many, a feature of the SDGs. Ideas like these need more exposure, collaboration and development. A new SRD Change global version can be organised online and may include wild ideas from any field. Please advise of any suitable projects or means of assistance. Through 2016-18, SRD collaborated on the administration and conference co-hosting for an education program, equipping senior student groups with solution-oriented business planning and networking skills to address issues relating to all 17 SDGs. The Australian-wide pilot completed with combined student reports presented to National Parliament. Program expansion internationally to Mauritius, Singapore, and later India led to encouraging cross-cultural student collaborations, greater participant awareness and understandings of the SDGs, and self-empowerment to better handle their own futures. An article and paper, Principles for Responsible Battery Management, shows responsible thinking goes far beyond industrial design into every other form of human endeavour, including environmental law, agriculture and soil carbon building, environmental, social and governance, impact investing, and many more. Society for Responsible Design research shows focus direction with 45 responses from 7 countries. A brief summary: SRD should promote and demonstrate responsible design as the apex design mode to create our sustainable future. 84% agreement. Growing methods to accelerate the greener circular economy, grow regenerative design, and investing in clean and green super. 81% agreement. SRD can just continue to develop as it has for 31 years. 94% agreement. Climate change was the top reported issue. It's encouraging that many sectors, from government, corporate, education and beyond, have been growing a valuable discussion on sustainability. Responsible design method incorporates all available input to the most appropriate and dynamic results from these discussions. Continuous updates and innovation of ideas and principles are built in. To counter wicked problems, attention to responsible design by everyone is now needed. While we have shown the method It is acknowledged more capable teams are also needed to assess, review, and maximise these efforts.
You have
to achieve the scale required.
Greg, sorry to interrupt you. You have 4 minutes left.
Yes, last slide. Review the essential criteria for being responsible as listed in Table 3 is encouraged. Your feedback is welcome. We seek the collective to inspire. In conclusion, responsible thinking is universally beneficial. The design component is merely a more creative version of it. When shared, we can build a much greater innovation resource that will benefit all people and species of the world. The greater participation, the more robust are the results. Many of these concepts and practices need to be in all disciplines. Wider inclusion of responsible design will result in greater progress to sustainability in the real world, with greater benefit to all the SDGs. Let's wake from our pre-crisis dreams, respect past wisdom, embrace the crises of today, and responsibly design our sustainable future together. This is our challenge, to reveal the disguise of the insoluble problems and pursue the opportunities that we can create. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Greg, for the very clear presentation on time. I think we could just speak up. You don't need to raise any hands because we are so few. So just speak up and come with questions or comments or whatever. Reaction.
Hi, Greg. How you doing? Hi, Astrid. How are you? And Clara. Simon Lockery here from Melbourne, Australia. I think Greg's up in Sydney there. Thank you so much, Greg. How you going? Thanks for such a great detailed presentation, Greg, and some really great points. I think I've written a comment, which I agree with a lot of what you've presented, and the fact we need holistic and quite all-encompassing solutions, and we don't have much time to do so is a pretty key thing we have, and a challenge we have to deal with, and hopefully we can. I'm curious for your thoughts on how RD can potentially engage with or account for other disciplines. I think you touched a little bit on that at the end and throughout, but particularly disciplines that are powerful stakeholders or actors in this, this wicked problem or set of wicked problems we face. So the likes of marketing and finance and the C-suites that design has to deal with. It'd be really interesting to get your thoughts on how you think RD potentially is placed to deal with those disciplines at all.
Yes, definitely. Thanks for your question. And there's a few points to that. Essentially, we wish to encourage that anything that hasn't got long-term benefits for life on Earth should be reassessed and redesigned. And I think one of the greater benefits of responsible design is that it's actually understood and designed to be understood at multiple levels. So much of what's out there is either for the high levels or dumbed down too much, like I think circular design is. Why did they pick circular? When you look at it, it's fairly obvious that there's all sorts of things that either can't be made circular or shouldn't be made circular, including the idea of a circular coal mine. I don't think so. So if we actually change that to responsible design and say, well, what are the longer term benefits for life? Are they there? Do they exist? It can actually be understood by lay people in a very simplistic level, and then taken to an academic and scientific level when we look at the multiple levels that it can be addressed. And the table 3 that I showed, the second last slide, has quite a good cross sections of things that can apply to everyone, and some may not apply to everyone. That's fine. So people need to navigate their way through it. But I'd love to see some more global collaboration on the idea of best ecological practice, and certainly, for each industry and design area. because there needs to be more sharing of best practice and discussion of how we can progress. And listening to a webinar on the Living Building Challenge coming out of New Zealand last year, they did some fantastic research for a new structure that had all the local and cultural values. And they did some brilliant research on it. And they said, we'd love to share this, but we haven't got the avenue to do that. Just one example where I thought, well, I have been saying this for some time. So this paper has finally put it all together. And thank you all for listening and watching and your questions, Simon.
Thank you for that. Well, we have time for one more question. Anyone or a comment?
As a design teacher, lecturer yourself, Astra, do you have any questions you may wish?
Well, I think I agree with Simon on his comments. But anyway, what I think was very positive was that you have brought together students from various countries to cooperate, because sustainability, the challenges of sustainability varies from country to country or from parts of the world to parts of the world. And our attitudes and traditions are different. So bringing them together on a global basis was very, very positive, I think.
Yes, it was absolutely fascinating doing those studies and that work, and certainly the different perspectives is just wonderful and eye-opening at the same time. And when we went from Australia to Mauritius, even though we think of ourselves as islands, of course we are a massive island, whereas Mauritius is a very small one. So their issues vary quite significantly. And that was just one thing, but the collaboration between the students was fantastic. And I'd like to see developing that program and programs like that in a larger scale, but how to do that is a challenge.
Yes, but it's a very, very good initiative.